Shattered Like a Glass Goblin is a short story by Harlan Ellison, first published in Deathbird Stories, 1975. In his introduction to the collection, Ellison reveals that the stories were written over the span of a decade. While Deathbird Stories is widely regarded as one of Ellison's most significant collections, Shattered Like a Glass Goblin is often considered a minor work. The story delves into the dehumanizing effects of drug addiction. The narrative follows Rudy, who arrives at a house in Los Angeles known as The Hill, a commune with a hippie-like atmosphere. He's hoping to find his fiancée, Kris, and when a blonde girl answers the door, she simply walks away, allowing Rudy to enter. He begins his search for Kris, discovering evidence of rampant drug use throughout the house. On the top floor, he finds Kris, unconscious from drugs and bitterly hostile toward him. She pushes him away, kicking at him violently, but Rudy persists. He tells her that he's just been discharged from the army due to a medical condition, and he reminds her that 8 months earlier, she had sent him a note about living with Jonah at the Hill. Rudy professes his love for her, but she is too weak to hurt him. As they converse, Rudy hears strange sounds, possible hallucinations, including the sound of large gold coins being counted and an animal tearing into flesh. Rudy then searches for Jonah, finding him in the living room with the blonde girl. She's trying to initiate sex, but Jonah is in a panic, convinced his face is melting. The blonde girl briefly worries that Rudy might be an undercover cop, but then casually asks him if he wants to have sex. Rudy ignores her, sitting with Jonah, who recognizes him and asks if he's out of the army. Rudy pleads with Jonah to let Kris leave, but Jonah insists that no one is forced to stay and that Kris can leave when she wishes. When 2 policemen arrive due to noise complaints from neighbors, Rudy tells them he's living there with his family, who are quiet because his mother is dying of cancer. Satisfied with his uniformed appearance, the officers leave, and Rudy gains the commune's approval. His ability to handle the police and navigate society earns him a place at the Hill, where he performs chores and even arranges for a small amount of money to help pay the house's bills. The other residents force Kris to be polite to him, including having sex with him. As Rudy's involvement deepens, he begins to hear strange audio hallucinations, which become more frequent. One night, Kris convinces him to have sex while under the influence of acid. The experience is intense, and Rudy begins to change, developing a sensitivity to sunlight. It's implied that he becomes a drug user, blending into the commune's lifestyle. Over time, Rudy begins to lose himself. He spends his days in the house, neglecting his physical health. His knuckles swell and discolor, and he realizes that he hasn't left the house in a long time. Rudy decides to search for the other residents. He discovers Teddy in the basement, now fused to a slimy wall glowing with a purple light. The blonde girl, who had greeted him at the door, is being consumed by other members of the commune. In a terrifying moment, he's almost knocked over by Teddy, who is transformed into a flying creature. Rudy then finds Kris in the attic, where she has become a werewolf, feasting on an animal's brain. When she touches him, Rudy realizes that he too has undergone a transformation. He has become a transparent, glass-like goblin, empty and broken. Panicked, Rudy flees and finds a mirror, where he stares at his fractured form. Kris approaches him, asking if he has ever grooved heavy behind anything except love. Rudy begs for mercy, but she reaches out and shatters him into countless pieces, each fragment becoming part of the self-contained universe of the Hill. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy this video, leave a like and subscribe.